So what are characteristics of a good coach, and how do you improve?
I think, you know,
Or is it a lot of talent that just kind of makes you
I mean,
shine?
you can have a lot of talent and not do well with it, and number one, you have to have a general idea of what you're doing. Most high school running coaches were high school or collegiate runners, and I've had people that I know that were unbelievable runners, but not great coaches. And I think sometimes the unbelievable runner relating to the average high school kid, sometimes that doesn't gel. And then I've had people that I know that were not great runners, not state champions, not all Americans, who were phenomenal coaches. Um, for me, it was always, you know, try never to think that you know it all. I read as many books as I could. I talked to as many people as I could. If I saw somebody having success, I went and asked them what they were doing. Because if you think you know it all, you don't know it all. And the one thing that I did here a lot of times is I've made a lot of friends and contacts in running. At the end of every school year, which was basically the end of a training year for us, I sent what we did to other coaches and asked them to look at it and evaluate it. Where do they think my weaknesses are? What could we do? And then you kind of have to look at your team. I don't know if I can describe characteristics. If you compared me to your average high school running coach, you would probably, I was probably more emotional, yelling and screaming than your average distance running coach. I still don't know why. That's just the way I am. Um, I think you have to be open to criticism to be a successful coach.
Okay. And what do you most enjoy about coaching, and what do you find really challenging?
I mean, the big thing for me was I enjoyed being with the kids, and any runner tends to love running. The one thing that I've always found about runners is they're a highly dedicated group, and I always found that my running friends were my first friends to step up and help me when I needed help. And I always enjoyed being around people who had the same beliefs as me. So when you're working with the kids and they're out there giving you everything they got, it's just nice to be around that group of people.
Okay, and you're back now, so you wanted to spend some time off with the wife and kids, but you mentioned that runners are dedicated. And but what is it about? Is there anything else about the sport that runners always come back? You can't leave track and field behind.
For me, last year when I decided to step down, it was more that I just felt I was getting tired, and I felt I wasn't doing as good a job as a coach as I could. I thought there were a couple of times when we were at big, long meets where I found myself wishing maybe I wasn't there, and I didn't think that was a good thing. So I thought maybe I'll take a break. And the one thing I kept saying last year to people was, I don't know if this is a permanent break or if this is a temporary break, because I wouldn't know till I was here. At this point in time, knowing how I would feel, I think it goes back to, for me, I just feel awkward being at Milton Wright and not coaching. I see the kids out there, and I know I can help them, or try to help them, but I'm not. So some of me feels I've deserted them. The first thing I did when I decided to come back is I asked my wife and son, do they care? And they really didn't care that I stepped down. My wife always said, she goes, you're going back, it doesn't matter. My son just asked if I was going to make more money.
That's not going to happen.
But, that's the big thing for me. I think the dedication thing brings people back, and when you go to a meet, for the non-running people out there, they don't understand how big of a community it is. You don't go to many athletic events and see the coaches joking around. And that's one of the big things I miss, because a lot of the coaches had become, I guess you could say, friends, and you don't get to see these people after seeing them for 20 years or whatever. So I miss that thing, and it's just a common bond when you're out there. Everybody's doing the same thing in the same conditions. That you can't call a timeout and make a strategic change when the gun goes off. coaches can say whatever they want. We're cheerleaders. That's what we are. We run around and yell for the kids, and when they're finished, we either yell at them or we tell them how great they did. But that's what I think brings a lot of people back.
Okay, and finally, what are you most looking forward to? I guess we talked about the interaction with the kids. Is there anything else?
For me, that's it. It's interacting with the kids, and I think for me, it just makes me feel more a part of the school community. Here in our little C. Milton Wright world, I just feel a bigger part of it if I'm giving more. I think coaching, even though I'm getting older, keeps me younger because I'm dealing with the kids, in a more close-knit way than you would as a teacher and student. That's what I'm looking forward to coming back to. Are we going to continue to win? I hope so. But if we don't, it's not going to make me want to stop any sooner.
All right, well, thanks, Coach. We appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing you back on the sidelines.
All right.